Do you play Call of Duty? Do you play FPS games? Do you play anything that requires a controller, right? And you ask yourself, what is the best controller out there for me to use? And it's gonna have great response time, it's gonna have great feel to it, and it's gonna do what I need it to do, and it's gonna do it for a very long time, right? It's going to be quality. That's what you're asking yourself. Like, what is that controller that's gonna do it for me? Not way too pricey, but in the middle where I could afford it and I could get myself one. In today's video, I'm gonna show you a few controls that I have that I think, in my opinion, are one of the best controls out there in the market, and the last one is going to be the best one, right? I'm only doing it for some retention, so that way you could stick around for the video, right? Let's be honest here. But yes, the last one is my favorite one that I use right now today, and you'll see. Let's get into the video. All right, so now that we here, the first one I'm going to show you is a goodie but a oldie, right? Most of you guys probably didn't even know that this company made controllers, right? And I've had this controller for a very long time. It still works, no stick drifts, and it's a nice controller, right? It does different things. Let me go ahead and show you. The first one, it's a little dusty, so let me go ahead and wipe it off. Let me wipe it off. Let me wipe it off. I haven't used it in a long time. So, all right, now that it's beautiful, okay, I could present it. So this is an Astro C40, okay, an Astro controller. Astro's made controller, or makes controllers, okay, not just headphones. You can see I haven't cleaned it in a while. All right, I used it. All right, I used it. Okay, I need to clean it. But this Astro controller for me worked for a very long time. Okay, I used this controller religiously, probably for like a good year and a half, early 2020 ish, right? And what I like about this controller is the fact that you could remove the plate with these 4 bolts right here. This one, that one, and this one, and that one. You could remove the plate and reconfigure how you want the controller to be. If you wanted to set up as an Xbox controller, if you wanted to set up, like right now for me, a PS5 or PS4 or PS3 or PlayStation controller. I'm a PlayStation guy, so I only use PlayStation controllers, but this controller allows you to use both, right? It gives you that flexibility where you can swap it around, okay? And you could buy parts for it still. I checked, right? You could still buy parts for it, where the joystick or anything like that, if you wanted to replace it, if it had stick drift, which is very important. I love this controller. I have big hands, okay? I have big hands. So if you have big hands, this controller will work for you, and it'll work great. The only thing I did not like about this controller is the fact that I couldn't overclock it. That is, in my opinion, the only, well, maybe one more downfall, the fact that it has 2 back buttons instead of 4 like my other controllers. Okay, so the Astro does a really good job, but if you're looking to overclock it and like DS4 Windows or anything like that, this is not the one. It's not gonna do it. And most of us nowadays need it overclock. So yes, here's my son. For some reason he's in here while I'm recording this video about a controller. Is there anything you need to say about these controllers, Cliff? You got to get closer.
I really like this one.
They can't see you. You got to get down.
I like this one.
And to the mic.
I like this one because it's like, it's easier to like control, and this one's good too, but it's just like harder to control. And I've never used that one, but they're all good, and they're good for COD.
Okay.
if you're not a noob like him. But so it's time to eat dinner.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I was saying, I'm gonna eat dinner and I'm gonna be right back continuing to record this video. All right, I've eaten dinner. Now I have more energy to explain what I was trying to explain. Astro C40, great controller. I even have the long stick on there, pause, right? Of course, right? For better recoil control, whatever you think, it works, right? So Astro C40, it's a good 7 out of 10. Quality is great. Software that Astro is running with it is great also. So a good 7 out of 10. Now the next controller we're gonna bring up is made by Hex Gaming. Okay, I got this one a few years back. It's a beautiful controller also. Okay, it has 4 buttons in the back, which is amazing, right? You could do a lot of multi things with it. Perfect. And the thing that I like about it is it's mouse click. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's mouse click. Oh wait, you can hear this better. It's mouse click. It's so much better. The Astro is not mouse click, so that's a disadvantage also. That's why it's got a 7 out of 10. But that Hex Gaming controller, this one I've had for a little while also, probably about 3 years. It worked. It works. It's not broken or anything like that. It's a beautiful controller. It's a PS5 controller. It's not on the heavier side. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I like the fact that it has 4 buttons in the back. In this one, you can, I repeat, you can overclock on like DS4 Windows or something like that. So that's what I really like about this controller. The fact that it has 4 buttons in the back, and it's, once again, it's mouse click. It's perfect. I love the white and red and the accent. It really shows the controller's character. Not gonna lie, it was one of my favorite ones for a little while. Also, you can change the sticks if you get in stick drift. So buying accessories for these controllers are the most important thing, because if you get any type of stick drift, you want to be able to replace the stick instead of the whole controller. So that's why I do love when these companies make these controllers where you could change the sticks instead of replacing the whole controller like back in the days. So I would give the Hex Gaming controller, since it's mouse click and you're able to overclock it and is a great feel to it, the grip is nice, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. Okay, quality build, it's firm. I would definitely give this a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. It deserves it. Now, the next controller that I got was, I would say probably like a year and a half ago. It's a brilliant controller. Sony did their thing with this. It's the Edge. Okay, it's the Edge, and this controller is a beauty. Not gonna lie, I used it a lot, and it has 2 buttons in the back. Right, they sort of mouse click. Has 2 buttons in the back, and this right here adjusts your trigger pull. Okay, so the more you bring it down, the less you have to go down on hitting these, and the more you bring it up, the more of a pull you have, right? Obviously. And the thing with this also, it's not mouse click, okay, but it's fine. It's a solid controller. It's made by Sony, and the fact that it also has 2 buttons in the front right here, it has 2 buttons in the front. I do love that. It's solid. Okay, I don't know what you would use it for, but some people use it. For me, I never really used it, but I think I used it to reload, and then the other one was to like, I think I only mapped one to reload, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. But this controller worked for me for a very, very long time. I really, really like it. The fact that you could remove this black plate right here. You could remove this black plate, and you could also switch out the sticks, which is amazing. You could literally switch out the whole stick module. That's what they're called, right? If you get any type of stick drift, which I had after like a good 8 months of like brutal beating and using it, I got some stick drift on the right stick and I replaced the right stick module. That's all I did. I believe it was like 20 bucks, and I haven't gotten any stick drifts since then. So this controller right here, I play with it when I'm just, you know, casual gaming, nothing crazy. I love the back buttons. They solid. So when I'm casually gaming, this is what I use, and it works perfect. And you can overclock it. Once again, very, very important. But the only thing that I would suggest that, you know, Sony does is bring out one that is mouse click. And this controller is on the heavy side. It is on the heavy side. You can definitely tell the difference between the Hex gaming controller and the Edge. The Edge is on the heavy side, which there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with it, really. You know what I mean? It's definitely doable. You won't feel the difference really unless you have another controller that's right next to it that's a lot lighter. But the Edge, it does the job. It does the job very well. Like I said, the fact that you can overclock it, the fact that you can switch out the modules, the stick modules, and the fact that it has the back buttons and they're solid. Like I said, the only thing I would take away from this is mouse clicks. I would put this at a solid 8.5. Now, what you guys been waiting for? The monster controller that is my favorite controller. Now, my favorite controller is the Scuff Reflex Pro. Okay, this thing right here has 4 buttons in the back. Okay, there's one right here and one right here on each side. It's mouse click. Everything is mouse click. Everything on this controller is mouse click. I love how light this controller is. This controller versus the Edge controller, I love both of them, but there is definitely a weight difference. There's definitely a weight difference between the Edge, between the Hex gaming controller, and for sure between the Astro controller. I'll tell you this much, this is the lightest controller I've ever played with, and the response time of the triggers, I mean, there's nothing there. Now mind you, this controller was $300 after shipping and blah blah blah. It was like a $300, it was more than $300 after shipping. It was expensive. It's an expensive controller, but oh my god, to me it is so worth it. Look at it once again. All right, I've used it obviously, so it looks like it's been used, but this controller is just remarkable. I do love it. I'm glazing right now because it's just a beautiful controller. All right, I gotta clean all my controllers, but this is the best controller out for me, in my opinion, as far as a PS5 platform controller. It's gotta be the Scuff Reflex Pro. And like I said, this thing is priced a little high, you know, 300 plus it's priced a little high, but my god, when I got it, I was like, holy shit, this thing feels amazing. Like I could literally play for hours and my hand is not hurting or anything like that. The way it's just made, it's just light. So to me, this controller, you can overclock it. Everything is mouse click, and it feels great. It's really light for that, and you can overclock it. If I didn't say that, if I didn't mention that, and it has 4 buttons in the back. for that, I'm gonna have to give it like a 9.5, which is high, but it's worth it. Okay, it's definitely worth it. It's my favorite controller. So you guys leave something in the comments to let me know what controller you're using and what are you, is it a PS5 or is it an Xbox? You tell me, you let me know what you think about these controllers. And if you actually own one of these controllers, let me know what you think about them, because I want to know about your experience. So hit that like button, subscribe, let me know something in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this whole video. If you've watched it for this long, thank you. I do truly appreciate you. It means a lot to me. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Till next time.